Okay, can you tell me more about the type? Like, what are different types of infidelity?
Yeah, well, this is what my workshop is going to be all about. I've kind of created 5 different types of infidelity. One is what I call attachment affairs, and that's where there is a bond, a sexual and an emotional bond that happens outside of the relationship. And oftentimes that's because there are attachment needs that are not being satisfied in the relationship, or there's conflict that's being avoided inside of the relationship. And so that's what you think of kind of typically as when somebody's having an emotional and sexual
Mm.
affair. But then there's erotic escape affairs, which happens when somebody is using the sexual encounter or a certain sexual behavior as a way of managing stress in the relationship. And so that can look like all kinds of things. I mean, that can be hookups, it could be going to paid sex workers, it can be an affair, more of a casual affair, a physical affair, but it's really used as a way to kind of dissociate from an issue that's happening in the relationship and a way to relieve tension and stress and avoid addressing that deeper issue. And then there's what I call narcissistic repair affairs. And that's when there is a kind of dynamic that's happening in the relationship where there's either a power imbalance or there's vulnerability, or there's a life transition, where one person might just be feeling really undervalued, or there's maybe a desire discrepancy that's not really being talked about or looked at. But the real function of that is to revive a sense of self-worth, like sexual self-worth or emotional self-worth within the relationship. The next one is a kind of like a compulsive sexual acting out.
Mm.
And that can be a whole variety of things as well. But typically, what's underneath it is there's maybe some unresolved trauma. There's maybe some like family of origin, shame around sex and sexuality, but it's really a kind of split off part from this person's even self understanding. Like, oftentimes, the person will say, I don't even know why I was engaged with this. It's a
Mm.
compulsive, almost addictive kind of quality to the acting out behavior. And then lastly, there is the category that I call exit affairs, which is
Mm.
really affairs that function as a way to end a relationship, not in a very productive way,
Yeah.
but it's really about not confronting directly issues in the relationship, or just feeling as though the relationship has come to an end and not really knowing how to address it or deal with it.